Welcome to the reality revolution. By watching this video, you can manifest anything you want in 3 days. 3 days. That's all it takes to collapse the gap between desire and manifestation using this total reality shift method. While traditional techniques might take months or even years to produce results, this revolutionary approach creates an immediate quantum shift in your reality. This isn't passive visualization or wishful thinking. This is a complete neurological, environmental, and energetic immersion that forces the universe to respond to you with unprecedented speed. One of my clients followed this exact method and manifested a book deal with a major publisher in just 3 days. After years of rejection letters, she had come to me saying that she was ready to give up on her dreams of writing, and I gave her this sort of extreme method. She followed all the techniques I'm going to give you, and she was able to do this. This wasn't luck or coincidence. It was the result of creating such powerful energetic coherence that the universe had no choice but to align with her new vibration. The reality shift method I'm discussing here combines cutting-edge neuroplasticity science with ancient wisdom traditions to create a powerful protocol that accelerates manifestation beyond anything you've experienced before. In the next few minutes, I'll reveal exactly how this 72-hour reality intervention works, including the specific steps that have helped countless people manifest everything from career opportunities to relationships to financial abundance in just 3 days. This is for those ready to go all in on creating their desired reality. Reality, my friends, is not some fixed, immutable construct, but a kaleidoscopic dance of possibilities. Possibilities that you can manipulate with the right technique. We're talking about nothing less than hacking the very fabric of your existence through the total reality shift method. The universe is this magnificent probability wave, a quantum soup of potential realities, all existing simultaneously in superposition. And for years, I've been fascinated by one burning question: how can we collapse these quantum probabilities to manifest our desired outcome, not in some distant future, but in a matter of days? I strongly believe that we are shifting into a new Earth environment, and it's become much easier to manifest whatever we want much faster. What I've discovered is nothing short of revolutionary. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to share with you a technique that doesn't just invite change, it demands it from the universe through complete psychological, environmental, and energetic immersion. This isn't passive visualization while you're lounging on your couch hoping that the universe delivers something. This is a 72-hour reality intervention that goes all in to literally step into the skin of your future self and force a reconciliation between your current reality and your desired one. We're talking about a method that combines quantum field manipulation and radical pattern disruption to create a reality glitch, a temporary suspension of the rules that typically govern how quickly your thoughts can materialize into tangible experience. The tragedy of modern manifestation techniques is they become these diluted, passive exercises in wishful thinking. A lot of times, it's very cliche. We're taught to visualize for 10 minutes a day, repeat some affirmations, and then what? Return to the exact same patterns that created our current reality. And while these things do work, it can take time. This is the cosmic joke we've been playing on ourselves. The universe doesn't respond to half measures, to lukewarm intentions whispered before bedtime. It responds to complete coherence between your thoughts, emotions, environment, and actions. Look around you right now. This reality you're experiencing isn't some accident. It's the perfect reflection of your consistent thought patterns, your habitual behaviors, your comfort zones that have crystallized around you like a shell. And trying to manifest something new while maintaining this shell is like trying to butterfly while still inside the cocoon. It's physically impossible. You felt it, haven't you? This frustration of doing all the right things. The vision boards, the positive thinking, the gratitude journals, only to wake up each morning to a reality that stubbornly refuses to transform. It's maddening. It's as if the universe is testing your resolve, asking, are you really committed to this new reality, or are you just visiting the idea of it? The fundamental problem is neurological. Your brain has formed these deep neural highways of expectation, what neuroscientists call your default mode network, that automatically filter your perceptions to match your existing reality. This is why traditional manifestation techniques hit a wall. They simply cannot generate enough neurological disruptions to break through these established patterns. It's like trying to redirect a river that's been flowing in the same direction for decades by tossing in a few pebbles. The river will simply flow around them. What we need is a complete earthquake of change, a total pattern interrupt that forces your neurology, your environment, and the quantum field itself to reconfigure around your new intention. This goes very well with all my activations, which work on an energetic level. This is the 3-day reality shift method, and it works where others fail because it creates precisely this pattern-shattering earthquake, and I'm about to show you exactly how to trigger it in your life. What I'm about to share with you transcends conventional manifestation wisdom because it operates on a principle that most people never grasp. Reality isn't just responsive to your thoughts, it's responsive to your total state of being. The total reality shift method is a 72-hour immersive experience that creates a coherent superposition of your current and desired realities. When you commit to this method completely and without reservation, you create a reality glitch. It's this beautiful disruption in the fabric of your experience where the universe cannot distinguish between what you're intensely simulating and what's real. This collapse of distinction is where the magic happens. The neuroscience behind this is fascinating. Studies in neuroplasticity show that intense, multi-sensory experience creates new neural pathways exponentially faster than gradual exposure. We're literally hijacking your brain's natural learning mechanisms to install new patterns of expectation so profound that your external reality has no choice but to reorganize around them. And what's truly mind-blowing is this isn't new knowledge. Ancient wisdom traditions have understood this for millennia. The vision quests of indigenous cultures, the meditation retreats of Buddhist monks, the spiritual pilgrimages across religious traditions. These are all variations of the same principle. Remove yourself from your habitual patterns completely and immerse in a new paradigm to catalyze transformation. I discovered this accidentally during a creative crisis several years ago. I was desperately trying to manifest a breakthrough project, but nothing was working. And in frustration, I decided to live as if the project had already succeeded. Not just in my mind, but in everything. I transformed my environment, changed how I dressed, spoke differently, made decisions as this successful version of myself. After just 72 hours of this total immersion, I received a call that changed everything, an opportunity that materialized seemingly out of nowhere, but was exactly what I had been embodying. Synchronicity was undeniable, and it sparked my obsession with understanding how we can compress time between intention and manifestation. What I've refined since then is nothing short of revolutionary, and I'm about to take you step by step through this reality-bending process. Day 1 is where we create the conditions for manifestation through a complete overhaul of your sensory experience. This is about disrupting your default reality so profoundly that new possibilities can emerge. Your physical space is not just a reflection of your inner state, it's programming your inner state every second. We need to transform this programming immediately. This means rearranging furniture to create new movement patterns through your space. Move your bed to face a different direction. Reposition your desk. Create a dedicated manifestation corner with objects that represent your desired reality. Why does this work? Because your brain forms neural connections based on spatial awareness. When you disrupt familiar spatial patterns, you literally force your brain to create new neural pathways. These new pathways become the foundation for your manifestation. Next, you need a physical object that will serve as your quantum entanglement point, your manifestation anchor. This should be something you can carry or wear with you continuously for all 72 hours. It becomes the physical embodiment of your intention. Choose something meaningful, a special stone, a necklace, a piece of jewelry, even a specific coin. Hold it in your hands, close your eyes, and pour your intention into it through visualization. Feel the energy of your desired reality flowing into this object. From this moment forward, this object carries the vibrational frequency of your manifestation. You can put it under your pillow while you sleep. Now we move to your digital reality. Your phone, your computer, these are extensions of your consciousness. So change all wallpapers and backgrounds to images that represent your manifested reality. Create custom alarms that will sound at synchronistic times like 11:11, 3:33, 5:55. Each time these alarms sound, you perform a quick pattern interrupt and reaffirmation. Your digital devices are portals of attention. We're reprogramming them to focus your attention exclusively on your new reality. The final component of day one is activating your synchronicity awareness. Get a dedicated journal that will become your synchronicity documentation system. And throughout the day, you'll record every meaningful coincidence, every sign, every unusual occurrence. This isn't just documentation, it's a feedback loop. And by paying attention to these, you amplify them. You train your reticular activating system, the part of your brain that filters information, to notice evidence that your manifestation is already in process. Remember, day one is about creating the conditions that make manifestation not just possible, but inevitable. By completely restructuring your environment, creating your physical anchor, transforming your digital interfaces, and activating synchronicity awareness, you're setting in motion the forces that will continue to work even while you sleep. Now, of course, you're going to spend several minutes visualizing it from the perspective of the completion of your manifestation. You're seeing it as if it's already happened. You're feeling it. You're creating an affirmation of some way to confirm that you have entered into this reality. You're also going to create a command, a declaration that this is your new reality within 3 days. There has to be clarity. So you say, in 3 days, I command that I will have $30,000 in my bank account. This gives you the clarity that you need. You know what you're trying to manifest. There is no doubt. Now you're going to start walking around as if this is true. And you will repeatedly, for 17 seconds at a time, visualize and imagine this reality. When you walk through doors, when you sit down to eat, you are assuming that this is already done. You are immersing yourself completely 100%. At no time are you putting yourself back in your normal reality. Now, day two is where we transcend simulation and enter embodiment. This is where manifestation accelerates beyond anything that you've experienced before. You're no longer just thinking about your desire, you're becoming the version of yourself who's already achieved it. First, you need to create a fully realized manifested self. You started that process on the first day. But this is not just an idea, it's a complete identity shift. Close your eyes and visualize this version of you who has already manifested your desire. Now that you've had some time to get used to this, you ask questions like, how do you stand? How do they speak? What decisions do they make? What energy do they radiate? This isn't role-playing. It's neurological reprogramming. You're creating new pathways that will become the default. You write down everything about this manifested version of yourself. their normal morning routine, their confidence level, their priorities. This becomes the blueprint for the next 48 hours. On the first day, you started getting used to this. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to feel right. By the second day, you're starting to completely embody it. Now you transform your external expression to match this internal shift. Your clothing isn't just a fabric, it's a vibrational statement to the universe. Dress exactly as your manifested self would dress. If they're successful, wear your most successful outfit. If they're confident, wear colors that radiate confidence. And your speech patterns, they must change completely. Your manifested self speaks with certainty, not hope. At no time do you speak a word that comes out of your mouth that doesn't fit consistently with this new manifested version of yourself. You use present tense, not future. You record yourself speaking as this version of you and listen to it throughout the day. Notice how your manifested self doesn't say, I hope to or I want to. You say, I am and I have. Now, this is critical. You must place yourself in environments that your manifested self would frequent. If you're manifesting financial abundance, you visit luxury stores or luxury hotels, financial districts. If you're manifesting a relationship, go to places where couples gather. Your physical location creates a resonance field that attracts corresponding experiences. But being in these environments isn't enough. You must take bold action from your manifested identity. Make at least one decision today that your current self would find intimidating, but your manifested self would find natural. This begins to create a quantum leap into this vibrational frequency. You are completely saturating yourself in this new manifested version. At no point are you thinking from your old self. You're only thinking from your future self. Why does this work? Because the universe doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to who you are. By embodying your manifested self completely, you create an energetic incongruence that the universe must resolve by bringing your external reality into alignment with your internal state. Now, 3 times on your second day, morning, afternoon, and evening, you perform a powerful visualization. Close your eyes and see yourself standing before a mirror. Watch as your reflection shifts to show your manifested self. Now step through the mirror and merge with this reflection. Feel yourself becoming one with this version of you. As you open your eyes, carry this merged identity with you. This creates a neurological bridge between your current self and manifested self, accelerating the transformation. Remember, this is about total immersion in your new identity. There can be no breaks, no stepping out of character. Every moment is an opportunity to strengthen this new neural pathway until it becomes your default state of being. Now, day 3 is where we create the quantum collapse that forces your manifestation into physical reality. This is the day when multiple dimensions of possibility converge into one definitive outcome. The previous 48 hours have created tremendous potential energy. Now we release it with precise, intentional actions. Today you'll perform pattern interrupts every single hour to shatter your brain's habitual processing. These aren't random disruptions, they're strategic reality glitches that create openings for your manifestation to emerge. For example, at 9 a.m., stand on one leg while declaring your manifestation out loud. At 10 a.m., write your desire with your non-dominant hand. At 11 a.m., spend 60 seconds walking backward while visualizing your desire moving towards you. At noon, spend 3 minutes breathing in a complete new rhythm while viewing your manifestation anchor. These pattern interrupts create a transient hypofrontality, a temporary suspension of your brain's filtering system that allows new information to enter your consciousness. Each interrupt creates a moment of pure receptivity where the universe can deliver exactly what you've been embodying. On the 3rd day, your intuition becomes your quantum navigation system. When you feel an impulse, no matter how seemingly random, you must act on it immediately. If you suddenly feel compelled to call someone, do it. If you have an urge to visit a specific location, go there. If a book catches your attention, open it to a random page. This is not just wishful thinking, it's leveraging your subconscious mind's ability to recognize patterns beyond what your conscious mind can perceive. Your intuition can detect subtle opportunities and synchronicities that your rational mind would dismiss. The key is immediate action. No hesitation, no analysis. The moment between impulse and action is where doubt creeps in. Eliminate this gap completely. Trust that your 3 days of immersion have aligned your intuition with your manifestation frequency. In the afternoon, create a physical representation of all the synchronicities you've documented over the past 72 hours. Take your synchronicity journal and transfer every meaningful coincidence, sign, and intuitive hit onto a large piece of paper. Use colors, symbols, arrows to connect seemingly unrelated events. Look for patterns that your conscious mind missed. This is not documentation, it's activation. By mapping these connections, you're revealing the invisible networks of causality that have been forming around your manifestation. The map becomes a physical representation of the quantum field reorganizing itself around your desire. Now, this is not mandatory, but it really helps to see all of the amazing changes that are happening in your reality. As the sun sets on day 3, you perform a threshold crossing ceremony, the definitive moment when you step fully into your manifested reality. Create a physical threshold, an actual doorway decorated with symbols of your manifestation. Stand before this threshold and declare aloud, I release all attachment to previous versions of reality. I accept that my manifestation is already complete. You can throw away the journal. You can burn it. You get rid of it. You don't have to keep that map anymore. Now physically step through this threshold while holding your manifestation anchor that we created on the first day. As you cross the threshold, visualize a wave of energy emanating from your body that transforms everything it touches into alignment with your desire. This is not symbolic. It's a neurological and energetic commitment that signals to your entire being that there is no going back. You have now fully collapsed all probability waves into your chosen reality. The 72-hour reality shift is now complete, but the manifestation process continues to unfold. Remain in your manifested identity and watch as physical reality reorganizes itself to match the energetic reality you've established. The universe has no choice but to respond to this level of coherence between your thoughts, emotions, environment, and actions. Your manifestation now enters the realm of inevitability. I highly suggest during those 3 days you listen to one of my parallel reality activations to help in the full alignment of your energies as you move and shift into your new reality. Now, there's common blocks that happen during this process that you can overcome. Even the most powerful manifestation techniques can encounter resistance from your current reality. Let me guide you through the most common blocks you'll face during the 3 days and how to instantly overcome them. The moment you begin shifting reality, your brain's self-preservation systems kick in. That voice saying, "This is ridiculous," or "This won't work," is not your intuition. It's your neurological resistance to change. Your neural pathways physically resist rewiring. The moment doubt appears, perform an immediate pattern interrupt. Stand up, spin in a circle 3 times while holding your manifestation anchor and declare, "I choose certainty over doubt." This will break the neurological pattern and reestablish your manifestation frequency. Friends, family, and colleagues will question your new behavior and speech patterns, and they can create powerful energetic interference in your shift. So before beginning your 3 hours, decide whether you'll limit social contact or prepare a simple explanation. You might say you're doing a personal development experiment without elaborating. Remember, explaining your process to skeptics dilutes your power. Protect your energetic bubble. I don't recommend that you tell anybody that you're doing this, unless it's a wife or husband, somebody that's close to you that you can trust, because you're adding their thoughts and energy into your process when you bring them in. Now, there is a results obsession that happens. If you're constantly checking for evidence of manifestation, it creates energetic resistance. This paradoxically pushes your manifestation further away by reinforcing the perception that it hasn't arrived yet. So redirect this impulse into deeper embodiment. Every time you feel the urge to check if it's working, instead perform one action your manifested self would take. This transforms anxious energy into manifestation fuel. Now, one note on importance. If you make this manifestation excessively important, it will derail the 3-day process. That's because you create excess potential. You place this on a pedestal and the energetic frequency becomes imbalanced and opposing frequencies enter into the picture. Remember, you're completely embodying this reality as if it's already happened. If you're constantly thinking of how important it is that this thing be done, you are not fully embodying the reality as we've suggested. Now, almost everyone experiences an energy crash during the second day. This is a good sign. It means your neurological system is reorganizing itself. This temporary dip happens as old neural pathways dissolve and new ones form. Have energetic amplifiers ready. That includes your favorite song that embodies your manifestation, physical movement patterns that anchor your identity, and environmental boosters like specific scents or colors that trigger your desired emotional state. Sometimes, what appears during your 3 days isn't exactly what you envisioned, causing confusion and hesitation. It can cause you to give up. Don't. Remember, the universe often delivers through unexpected channels. Follow every synchronicity, even if it doesn't initially appear directly related to your manifestation. These are quantum breadcrumbs leading to your desire. Trust the intelligence of the universe to know the most efficient path, even if it's not the one you imagine. As day 3 approaches completion, many experience a subconscious fear of success. This manifests as a sudden exhaustion, distraction, or finding reasons to abandon the process right before completion. Recognize this as the final resistance before breakthrough. Schedule your threshold crossing ceremony in advance and treat it as absolutely non-negotiable. Create a video that you send to yourself on that final day to make sure you complete this final step. Remember, these blocks aren't signs that the process isn't working. It's evidence that it is. Resistance appears precisely because you're creating a powerful change. Each block you overcome accelerates your manifestation exponentially. Now, I've had a number of people try this process and it ends up manifesting on the 4th or 5th day. That's fine. Assume that it's going to happen as you utilize the 3 days of this process. In most cases, you will find an immediate manifestation of what you're looking for, as long as you process everything in the way that you're supposed to do it. To manifest in just 3 days, preparation is crucial. You can't just jump into this reality-shifting experience. You must create the optimal conditions for transformation. So begin by clearing your schedule completely for 3 consecutive days. This method requires total immersion, no distractions, no obligations, no reverting to your old patterns. The ideal window is Friday morning through Sunday evening, when societal patterns naturally shift and create space for transformation. I don't recommend drinking or smoking during the 3 days, unless that causes a specific problem with you. At least 24 hours before beginning, spend time clearly defining your manifestation and be precise. Not just more money or be happier, but receiving a $10,000 opportunity. Write this definition in present tense as if it's already happened, using sensory language that engages all 5 senses. You should have a dedicated manifestation journal ready to go, preferably new and unused, where you will document your progress, your journey in the synchronicities, and track your transformation process. You should be ready with a manifestation anchor object, something small enough to carry continuously for 72 hours that holds symbolic significance to your desire. This should be a crystal, which is my favorite, a special coin, or an object that represents your manifestation. Be sure to set your phone with alarms that set for pattern interrupt times 11:11, 3:33, 5:55, and any numbers that feel significant to you. You should have materials to transform your environment, photographs, objects, colors that represent your manifested reality, and you should be ready with clothing that embodies your manifested self. If that means dressing up in a suit for all 3 days, then you should do it. Why not? What do you have to lose? What would you wear if your desire had already manifested? The 3-day immersion creates a maximum impact when you start Friday morning and conclude on Sunday evening. This timing leverages the natural rhythm break that weekends provide from habitual patterns, at least for me. And as you step into Monday, you'll be operating from an entirely new vibrational frequency. The only problem is that a lot of businesses are closed on Sunday, so you may not see the full manifestation until Monday because businesses are closed on Sunday, so be aware of that aspect of it. Now, I cannot reiterate enough, doubt will creep in. It has already creeped in while I've been explaining this to you. You have already had thoughts that, oh yeah, I've heard this all before, it's not going to work. I know you have. It's going to creep in. This is a neurological defense mechanism. Your brain is resisting new pathways. When this happens, immediately perform a pattern interrupt and reconnect with your anchor. Friends or family will question this, I promise. Decide in advance how you will share what you're doing. Understand this fundamental truth. Half measures produce half results. The power of this method lies in its totality. Every time you slip back into your old identity, even for a moment, you're reinforcing the neural pathways you're trying to rewrite. Think of this as a quantum experiment. You're both the scientist and the subject. Would a quantum physicist contaminate their experiment with inconsistent variables? Of course not. Your commitment must be absolute for all 72 hours. You will walk around as if it is true for 72 hours, following all the techniques I've given. Visualizing, imagining, embodying, the food you eat, the water you drink, everything about this is a complete and total submersion in this reality. This isn't just about following steps. It's about creating such a powerful field of coherence between your thoughts, environment, actions, and identity that the universe has no choice but to reorganize itself around your new vibration. Now, many of you will try this and it won't work. And you'll say, hey, Brian, I tried and it didn't work. And then something happens on the 7th day or the 6th day. I do not want you to lose faith if nothing happens on the 3rd day. I am saying if you go all out, in most cases, from the people I've worked with, including myself, you will see results on that 3rd day. Of course, everything is different. If you want to get drafted into the NFL, then you would need to do this around the time of the draft. There are certain things that carry linear requirements. But if you're trying to get a text from somebody or receive a deposit or a contract, this is the perfect process to attempt. My question to you is, are you ready to completely commit to these 3 days of transformation? Because that commitment, that absolute unwavering decision, is the first step in collapsing the gap between where you are and where you desire to be. Let's quickly recap this reality bending process. Day 1 is reality redesign, transforming your environment, creating your manifestation anchor, reprogramming your digital interfaces, and activating your synchronicity awareness. Day 2 is complete identity immersion, which you started on the first day. But the second day is the most important part of this. You embody your manifested self through behavior, speech patterns, wardrobe shifts, and placing yourself in new environments that align with your desired reality. The third day is reality collapse and activation, using strategic pattern interrupts, following intuitive prompts, creating your manifestation map, and performing the threshold crossing ceremony that seals your new reality into existence. This is not just another manifestation technique. It's a complete reality intervention that creates neurological, environmental, and energetic conditions for rapid manifestation. The power lies in the totality of your commitment to these 72 hours, going all in without reservation. Now I challenge you, yes, you watching right now, to begin your reality shift this coming weekend or whenever it's convenient. Block your calendar, gather your materials, and commit to these 3 days of transformation. Then return to this video and share your manifestation story in the comments below. Your experience will not only validate your own journey, but will inspire others to take this leap into accelerated reality creation. If this approach resonates with you, hit that subscribe button right now. In the coming weeks, I will continue sharing advanced activations and techniques for maintaining your manifested reality and expanding into even more powerful dimensions of conscious creation. Remember, the gap between where you are and where you want to be is not measured in time or space, but in your willingness to completely embody a new state of being. Your manifestation is not coming, it exists now in a parallel reality that you can step into through complete immersion. The choice is yours. Will you continue with fragmented, passive techniques, or will you commit completely? What you decide will change everything. The universe is waiting for your decision. You can find all episodes of The Reality Revolution at therealityrevolution.com. And welcome to The Reality Revolution.